Exploding Kittens. What's good about it? The acting was good. I did like the characters, especially God. Like, he's voiced by the guy who played Lucifer in Lucifer, and he was funny. I like his dynamic with the female Lucifer. Like, they're so cute. Look at them. I like the ending, how she had a bunch of kittens exploding out of her. That was funny. There's like a twist. I did enjoy the twist, but I wish the animation was better and the character designs. And yeah, there was like 2 like cliched episodes. Ultron Carbon. Watched most of season 1, but I fell off at the last 2 episodes because it became a little bit too much of a cheesy action movie. But I did enjoy that character, detective dude, because he was a criminal samurai guy, and then he got transported into Rick Flag Jr.'s actor's body, and I enjoyed Joel McKinnon in the show. Didn't watch season 2 though. Season 1 of The Witcher, I enjoyed it until I didn't, because the last 2 episodes I did not watch because I was skip through the Witch Covenant stuff because it was so confusing. I was like, dude, why are you introducing this? I want to focus on Geralt. Henry Cavill did a good job. I wish we focused more on Geralt, but we did in season 1. I mean, no, it turned out it gets worse and worse as the season progressed, so I'm glad I didn't watch the show. But I did like the song, the guy's song, Squid Game. Watched the first season, thought it was really good. I didn't get to watch most of the first episode, but I did enjoy the game stuff. I did enjoy the main character. I wish he didn't get his hair dyed and turn back and try to save everyone. Because I was like, dude, this is not going to end well for him. And it turned out I was right. But first season, good. Didn't watch any of the other seasons. Mr. Robot, only watched the first 2 seasons. Because it got a little bit weird for me. But, it was, good. But even if it's like, because he has, like, mental problems. Multi-personality, so it gets bizarre. Supernatural. I watched this show when I was a kid with my sister because she introduced me to it. We watched up to like season 8 and then rewatched the entire show again. They were, dropping episodes on the CW of season 9, so it wasn't on Netflix. So then that's where I fell out of the show because I never rewatched it again. But I remember the first 5 seasons being good, and then the 3 other seasons, they were good enough, but then the whole show just dripped in quality. Could look 15 seasons, crazy, but it was a good show at one point. Lucifer, I also enjoyed this show, mostly because of the character Lucifer. I think he's a good actor in this show. They did a whole thing with him and Chloe, the human detective. Do the standard, will they, won't they? And it got kind of annoying. Season 3, they introduced a guy named Pierce. It turned out he was the first murderer, immortal and stuff. But, I did enjoy this end of that season. Then the next season, I kind of fell off because, Chloe was trying to kill Lucifer and that whole thing, even though, like, Lucifer didn't really do anything wrong. But, skip through that 3 episodes, then I started watching the whole show. And, I like the side characters and stuff. My favorite side character is the Ella. She was pretty cute. But yeah. Didn't really see the final season because, I watched a few episodes, but I just skipped over his annoying daughter. Even though she's understandably annoying because he apparently abandoned her in the future. Hoops. Worst animated show. One of the worst ones I've seen because it's so boring. Jake Johnson's line deliveries were not good because he has like a nasally voice that's not funny whatsoever. And the main character, him, the guy holding the ball, he sucks balls. He's so annoying. It was not fun. I wish Ethan, the tall guy, was the main character. All the other characters are just cliched or not interesting. F is for Family. I remember when they introduced each of these seasons, but I only watched till season 3, didn't watch season 4 or 5 because season 3 felt like a natural conclusion. I mean, they did tease his dad because he was like, "Oh, I'm coming into town," so we didn't get to see him. But I thought it was natural endpoint. You know, it's a realistic enough show. It's the first season 1 where Kevin, the teenage son, had a really raunchy sex with his neighbor's overage girlfriend, and that was crazy. And it was like kind of unrealistic, but like, no, I thought the dad was a little bit annoying with his anger, understandably so. But like, I was like, I just fell off. BoJack Horseman, watched all 5 seasons. Like the last season I watched, he still had his fake black hair. I didn't watch the season with him with his natural gray short hair. Well, except for the finale, because I watched the first season when it was dropped, and I thought the first episode was like a B minus, kind of felt like Family Guy. But then the show got really good and really depressing. But I just fell off because I couldn't wait for season 3, and I just like, why not? Why bother watching the last season? Only watched the first season of this, the first part technically. No, clearly I didn't enjoy it enough. No, I mean I didn't think it was that bad of a show. It's just like, No, when they introduced her mom at the end and she was a manipulator, I think that's why I dropped off, because I was like, oh, she's gonna manipulate the main character so hard. Space Force, watched most of season 1, left on a cliffhanger of them being trapped on the moon. I thought it was horrifying, only watched most of it because of Steve Carell. I think I watched all of season 1, but definitely not skimmed through season 2 because of the cliffhanger ending. Tacoma FD, watched this show, thinks it's okay. The characters could be mean to each other for like no reason, just for the giggles and stuff. They're like in the 4th season, they had to replace a character named Andy because his actor went to join Loki. And so Mickleberry, I mean, he's very cute and he has new energy to the show, but like they're all so mean to him. I get he's a newbie and it's a hazing ritual, but like it just showed like they didn't really have that much respect for him. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, enjoyed this show. I like the realisticness. No, it was a little bit exaggerated in the beginning, but like, the 4 seasons. But then when it progressed with the other seasons, I was like, it's getting a little bit too over the top and stuff, and it's kind of lost. But I do enjoy the character. I remember when I had to wait for the finale season. I was like, ooh, I wonder what's gonna happen. But then they did like the COVID thing and like talked about the Floyd incident. I was like, it didn't really vibe with that. But I did enjoy the finale, like where they all ended up. Kim's Convenience, I enjoyed this show. I again like the characters, but Jung's boss had like a will they won't they. I mean, not that, but like he was oblivious to her feelings until he started developing feelings for her, and then he had a missed opportunity because he had to take care of his dad. But then like literally she thought he didn't want her, so she got a new boyfriend who was terrible, but she was oblivious to his terribleness. Like one episode, Jung was forced to help him move his ex-girlfriend's thing, and he cheats on Shannon with her. Like Jung overhears them in the door, and it was so sad because Shannon never figures it out, and I just didn't like that cliche thing. So I skipped over all the Alejandro stuff because I knew where it was going, and I was right. I was like, dude, this is just not fun. Like, we know they're going to end up together. Prison Break, watched this show when I was a kid with my dad when it first introduced on Netflix. But at that time, it was only 4 seasons. I thought it was good, but then it was just T-Bag. He's so annoying, man. He let the show down because he's an awful, awful person, but they are letting get away stupidly, or Michael gets a chance to kill him, but he doesn't because of his code, and that's annoying. And people are just like, oh, let's trust him, even though like, don't trust this idiot, terrible, awful, garbage person. And it doesn't really get that bad of an ending. Of course, he gets put in prison for the rest of his life, but still. Big Mouth. Remember seeing this show when it first dropped. because I Hate Everything and he hated the show. But then I decided to watch the first season. I really enjoyed it. I think because I was going through puberty, so it helped me there. Enjoyed season 2, but I enjoyed the first season a little bit because it was a little bit more realistic. But then it kept getting more meta and stuff, and just fell off after the. And also, waiting for the show to drop because season 2 dropped. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed Jay as a character. Then season 3, I didn't get to watch season 3 all the way, but they introduced the first episode as a Valentine's Day special, so that way it was called Valentine's Day special. Yeah, it was crazy. But then I just obviously I watched some through the show, but I did like mishmash episodes and stuff. Obviously I didn't watch it all the way through, but I watched the finale episode and it was like that weird meta thing they do. Mr. Iglesias. I only watched like the first 2 parts in full with my grandma. I enjoyed the show enough, even though it wasn't that good. It was like a C+. Yeah, and that show also introduced like fake, laugh tracks. And I don't know why some shows still do it. Okay, now on the kids channel, Total Drama. I'll actually review this show, but like I enjoyed the first season. I love that season. I enjoyed the 3rd season. I enjoyed the Redonkulous Race and the 5th season. But I'll do a full review on this show because I have a lot to say. Avatar: The Last Airbender. Watched the first season, thought it was really good, like A-. 2nd season, I kind of fell off when they went to the Earth kingdom dictatorship because it was like fascism. Kind of reminds me of North Korea. So I was like, I didn't vibe with the new setting. So I didn't watch the last few episodes. Like it was like 3 or 4 episodes. But it's a good show. I'll probably do a full show review next time. The Garfield show. I watched this entire show so many times. Except for like the last like season 4 and 5, because they did like weird like story, like fairy tale stuff, or like 2-parters. And I did watch them, but I didn't enjoy it as much as season 1 and 2 and 3. I like Garfield. This show could get meta sometimes. Like there was like one episode where they accidentally left in like pre-animation thing, so it's like black and white. But it's a pretty good show. I like Garfield's voice in that show. Naruto, watched first 2 seasons when I was in the 5th grade. I enjoyed it. No, I remember when he first got transformed into his like fox monsters form, and I wrote that into my story even though it didn't make any sense. I found the girl with the pink hair annoying. Sorry about that. Green Eggs and Ham. I watched the first season. I enjoyed it enough. I gave it like a B+. Didn't watch season 2 with his mom because at the end of season 1 they introduced his hint at his mom, and he's like, I'm gonna go find my mom. Okay, My Little Pony, Friendship's Magic. I watched this show when it was introduced on Netflix in like 2013, and I watched the entire show. I don't know why it says 2018. I don't know, I definitely watched a lot of the show, and I enjoyed the characters, especially Rainbow Dash. But I haven't rewatched the show. No, I know the last time I watched the show, they introduced a new show that they were humans. It was either in a TV movie or like an actual show, but like they got transported into a portal and then they became human schoolgirls, but still retained their color and stuff. And they're like, oh, we want to stay here and do schoolwork. And I'm like, why? The Fairy Godparents in 2012, they introduced all this, the like 3 seasons on here, and I watched all of them. Then season 5 too, and then I didn't really watch season 6. I only watched the tail end of the Wissology episode where he was throwing pizza out of the sky, and I was like, what's going on? I remember the episode where they introduced Poof. Like the final episode they had on here on Netflix when it was on Netflix, and then before it was taken off on Netflix for the first time was, I had the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour 3. I rewatched that so many times. But obviously I can't watch Very Odd Parents now because I feel so bad for Timmy. Johnny Test. I do enjoy the show. Obviously, like the first season was like the actual like really good season, or the first two, and then the other season became like okay. But it's a fun watch for me, even though the animation design, like some of the character design did not work, and the animation and like the whipping sound effects, But it's a good. It's an enjoyable kids show. Cupcakes and Dino. I watched the first season of the show when it was introduced in like 2017, when my younger like 4-year-old daughter sisters were there, and I watched it with them. I thought it was enjoyable enough, but not to watch the season 2. Then 2021 they introduced the Netflix had the redo of Johnny Test, and I enjoyed this show a lot better. It reminds me of season 1 of the original Johnny Test show. So like both seasons were an A minus. I wish they just combined 2 of the episodes so it's not 10-minute episodes. The Boss Baby Back in Business. I remember when the first season dropped, then I was like, I gotta watch this because I did enjoy the first Boss Baby movie. And yeah, I watched season 1 because it was them versus Kittens. Season 2 was them versus old people. And then season 3 was them versus baby technology. Stuff that entertains the baby so the parents don't have to pay attention to them. And I thought they were all good. They even had the interactive game that they removed off of Netflix. I played that. It was like them trying to do stuff, and oh yeah, all the villains from the first 3 seasons combined their forces to try to kill Boss Baby. I watched Pinky Malinky. I watched the first 2 parts. It was enjoyable enough. It was like them doing like YouTube videos and stuff, so that was interesting. But it was obviously trying to rip off Gumball. Troll Hunters, Tales of Arcadia. I watched the 2 seasons of this show when it was introduced. But then I didn't watch the 3rd part because, again, dropped off. That's mostly what happened in the show. Like, my interest waned because of the long wait between seasons for Netflix. But I enjoyed the show, the first 2 seasons. It was weird because I skipped through the movie because they had 2 spinoffs and then a movie. And then I watched the end of the movie. Literally, the main character was like, okay, I can't be the troll hunter anymore, so time travel back in time and make my fat best friend be the main character and go through trauma and stuff. I mean, I bet they have a reason for him doing that, but like, so it's kind of weird. And like some of the animation was a little off, like especially when they open their mouths, it's like a big black hole. It was weird. Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, watched that entire show when I was a kid. I liked it. It was weird because literally at the final episode, it turned out they were like in a fake world. Like their whole world got destroyed, entire universe, and then got rebirthed into like a real life settings, and they had to reconnect with their friendship and stuff. It was hilarious. They took over their new universe versions' bodies. Barbie's Life in the Dream House. I watched it, enjoyed the show, unironically. But yeah, a few of the episodes have like returning segments because it turned out it was like an internet web show, which that was weird. The Smurfs show, I did enjoy the show enough, but it was just like, just reused locations and stuff. Masters of the Lego Ninjago. I watched like 3 seasons of Ninjago up until he started fighting, after he defeats Lord Garmadon, and then I stopped watching the show because again I had to wait for the next season. But it wasn't on Netflix. The new season wasn't on Netflix either. But the season after I stopped watching it was the Ninjago got remade into tech society. But yeah, that's when I stopped watching Ninjago. But I enjoyed Ninjago. Okay, so the first 2 seasons I watched. Because I remember when the rebooted season had the Lego sets, and I bought them when I was a kid. Sam and Cat is a bad show, but I enjoyed it, even if the characters could be annoying, because, Victorious. I watched the show, but of course it has some comedies. I have some jokes you just like inappropriate and stuff. Didn't really like Jake because of how mean she is to Tori. I bet some people like her, of course they do, but she just doesn't vibe for me. And then iCarly, I watched iCarly when I was a kid when it was coming out, and I enjoyed it. So I only enjoyed like the first 3 seasons because that's the only ones I watched, and I heard the other seasons are bad. And that's all the shows on Netflix. But no, I'm going to show you